how it could have possibly ever happened that Black Hawk helicopter crashed into that American Airlines flight that was just moments away from landing at the Washington Reagan National Airport. Let's get right into it. It now appears that the fact that the plane was in those final seconds before landing may have played a crucial role in not getting what could have been a vitally important warning if it had happened even a minute or two earlier. Here's why. So it was 8:46 p.m. Air traffic control warned the Black Hawk that the CRJ was closing in on Reagan at about 1,000 feet over a nearby bridge. I believe it was around 1,200 feet at that point, 8:46. Now just visualize you're on a plane and you're just in that last minute to 2 minutes before you touch down. So at 500 feet, it's now been revealed that there was an audio warning in the cockpit of the American Airlines flight, and it said, traffic. But my understanding is that warning can often be heard when you're on final approach in a congested area, and that clearly was the situation here. I believe the two-man crew up in the front of the CRJ at that point would have already been hearing air traffic control over at the Reagan Tower, already warning the helicopter and making sure they had them in their sights. So the collision avoidance system was working. However, according to the New York Times, at that low of an altitude, one of the system's most important features would not have been functional. In extremely dangerous cases, it tells pilots how to move away from danger, basically by instructing one of them to go higher and the other one to go lower. The problem is, if you're in that last minute of flight, that part of the warning system will not go off due to the risk that the plane warned to go lower may actually be too close to the ground or to buildings nearby, parking garages, anything else. And so in that last minute or so, that system is non-functional. So it's all happening so fast. And at just before 8:48, this would have been 8:47, probably 8:47:30 or 40, the plane's crew suddenly does react verbally from whatever they see, which is probably out of the corner of their eye, seeing this Black Hawk suddenly right in line with them. So the plane, as we had reported to you the other day, did suddenly pull up, but it wasn't enough. And according to the flight recorders that we're learning more information from on an almost daily basis, it was soon, very soon after that, a matter of seconds, that the sounds of the crash can be heard. There's also a report that if they were flying with night vision, which it's starting to look like that, and we should get a final answer actually very soon on that, that as compared to flying, not with night vision, but during daytime flying and you're using your own eyeballs, you should have close to 180-degree field of vision, maybe 130, 140-degree field of vision. But if they were wearing night vision goggles, that field of vision would have been more like 40%, 40 or 50 degrees, as opposed to this larger number. So it seems like more and more clues are emerging and key things that just went wrong. A whole series of events had to go wrong to get to that point. So we are going to continue to stay right on top of that story for you. And we have several other stories to cover as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to introduce to you Syleste.
Ron Hoon,
Hi.
we missed you over the
You know
last
what?
couple of days. Yeah, you sound good though, buddy. How you
Thank you.
doing?
I feel like I'm an octave lower.
Yeah. Oh, it's that
Well.
radio voice. Ron, Eric's
Yeah, Rock and Ron.
Rock and Ron.
But I warned Anita during the morning show. I said,
Yes.
if you don't make me laugh, I won't cough.
Oh,
So
gosh.
this could put a real damper on today's streaming show. Celeste.
Ron, what are we gonna do? I don't know what we're gonna do.
Hey, we do need to talk about this other story, though, because it's a shocker. People are talking about it all over town. It's the 77-year-old lady who is arrested in a murder case.
Oh, yeah. Wild story.
77, yeah. And so it happened January 26th. Police say she is the killer of her own husband. About 12th Street in Bethany home, they say that Patricia Gaskell stabbed her 78-year-old husband, Vernon Gaskell, 40 times. Anyway, she apparently called her psychiatrist and her therapist to tell them it was all in self-defense. But then she started talking about leaving the area, so police are piecing it together, and the arrest was made. The other story getting a lot of talk today, Celeste, is this one. How could they pull a heist out of one of the most prominent gun shows in Phoenix at the convention center? Police say that 25-year-old Xander Jackson did pull the heist off, stole 14 handguns from a display case on the lower level of the convention hall. So that seems pretty brazen.
I think so, too. I mean, you have to expect and accept the fact that cameras are rolling everywhere you go.
Yeah.
No matter if you're at the grocery store, in the lower level of the convention center, on the rooftop of some building, there are cameras everywhere nowadays. And so there were surveillance cameras that captured this young man.
Apparently, he was a temporary employee at the gun show, and that's how he had access to the hall for after hours or early hours. And detectives say they caught him right on the surveillance video. Seems pretty brazen. Police cell phone records then led police to a 19-year-old named Arvin Reynolds. Police say both men had some of the stolen guns right in their possession.
Yeah.
So, it didn't take a lot of detective work to figure all of that out. So, Celeste.
Yes, Ron Hoon.
We are now, a little more than 48 hours to the Super Bowl.
Okay. No, who's counting? Ron, I'm sorry. Don't make him laugh.
Right. Don't make me laugh. But look at this. I love this video right here. This is from Kansas City. And the Kansas City Ballet put together a whole go get 'em, go beat 'em dance decked out in Chiefs gear. I mean, that whole city is just so unified. They are on the verge of doing something. When you think about the greatest teams of all time, the New England Patriots with Brady and Belichick, the Miami Dolphins with Dan Marino and Don Shula, Terry Bradshaw and Chuck Noll with the Pittsburgh Steelers. No one has ever won 3 in a row. And the excitement is palpable.
But that takes us to our poll question, Ron. Can we pop that up one more time and talk about this?
Of course.
Okay, so because I just voted in this poll, and the poll question this morning is America losing interest in the Super Bowl? Are you? And here is a few of your choices.
By the way, the backstory
is
there's a national poll out today that says 51% of Americans don't even care who's going to win the game. That's the highest it's ever been.
Oh, wow. I wonder
why. It used to be
why.
more like in the 30s and then in the 40s. I think it's because we sort of know these teams already pretty well.
I think so, too.
And so I think I hadn't voted, but I would vote for sorta. I'm ready for 2 new teams.
That's what I voted.
Okay. I mean, give me the Buffalo Bills and the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh,
Something
Josh
like
Allen,
that.
didn't he just win MVP?
Yeah.
I watched his speech on Instagram this morning, and he thanked his mom and dad. And oh, my goodness, Ron, it was so sweet.
Yeah.
And didn't he play JUCO? He went and played junior college. Is he the one?
Yes, and then ended up at the University of Wyoming because the big schools wouldn't touch him, and I still don't know why.
They wouldn't touch him out of high school. He was a high school quarterback.
Right.
And he never gave up on his dreams. And he said, you know what? If nobody else wants me, I'm going to go play junior college, and I am going to keep working.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a totally testament to persistence. What a great story.
Now, the question, of course, is this. Who is actually going to win the game?
Ron's like, let's get back to the X's and O's, people.
Well, this is the non-X's and O's. This is the part of the coverage that I can just barely handle, but let's do it. because we have a turtle.
Oh, no.
Uh-huh. Sea Life Aquarium in Jersey predicting the Chiefs will get the three-peat. It's just like wherever the
Come on.
the snout of the turtle lands, but he liked the Chiefs. Apparently, I think it's because that gigantic goldfish was already hovering over the Eagles'
Or
helmet.
maybe he's colorblind and he can see only red, like the bulls in Pamplona, Spain, you know?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Are we to the point now where we're jumping the shark with all of these animal guesses?
I think so.
I think so,
Although,
too.
watching that hippo, we had a hippo. Where were they? We had a story just like
Yes,
this
right.
in the morning show, and
Right.
it was about a hippo choosing who was going to win. And I think they chose the Eagles. I'm trying to remember.
Well,
Can't remember. There's a
Celeste-
50% chance.
Yes, that's exactly right. But we do have 2 elephants in a zoo in Hawaii who have an actual track record.
Oh, wow. Of winning, of choosing the
Yes.
winning team.
Yes, this is Mary and Vagai at the Houston Zoo. Stand by, here they come. And look at that. They, this time around, gave it to the Chiefs. Although one with the Chiefs, the other with the Eagles logo, after a bit of a psych out, we're still trying to learn exactly what that means in the elephant world. They both ended up picking the Eagles as the winning team. But in case you wanted to know, they were 100% correct last year predicting the Chiefs to win.
Wow.
So they have an actual track record, Celeste.
And now they're choosing the Eagles. So
Yes.
that could be the case.
Mhm.
That is the A.J. Brown.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The audiobook I'm listening to that he
you're
was
still
reading.
listening to that.
He was reading it on
Yeah.
the sidelines on the bench.
I think you
Inner
told me this like
excellence.
2 weeks ago, Celeste. Is it a slow-moving book? What's happening?
It is, Ron. I have to remind myself to get back to it and seek out that inner excellence.
All right. Hey, here's your chance, everybody at home, on our streaming show for Inner Excellence. Tell us where you think today's mystery cam is.
Oh, it's snowing.
Ooh.
You see that just lightly
Yeah.
blowing in the wind?
Yes, right.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll be back in 2 minutes with your guesses. I'm exploring the depths of my new voice.
I
Celeste
think it's
is,
working. It sounds good.
believe me, Celeste
Wow.
loves this new lower voice.
I do. Bring it down an octave.
All right. What do we got for guesses?
Okay, guesses on the mystery cam. Big thank you to everyone who's chimed in the chat box. We've got Michigan, Portland, Oregon, Illinois, Iowa, another Illinois, another Iowa,
Yeah.
Kansas, South Dakota, Jenswall, Lisa, Tyler, Sherry, Jenswall, Louis Gonzalez, V.
Yeah.
Miguel. Thank you all, Linda, for sharing your thoughts and guessing with us this morning. What are you going to go with, Ron?
Well, I just want to point one thing out.
Yes.
Yesterday at home, I had no voice,
Uh-huh.
but I was whispering to you that it was Pennsylvania.
And Brian K. got it correct.
You know, I hate to say it, but I actually said it was Johnstown.
Did you really?
Yeah, because that was the home of the famous Johnstown flood like
Yeah.
125 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And it's because it's in that valley. The
Mhm.
water just swept right through there. But there I am as a history nerd again.
And he was watching, just for the record, for all of
Yes.
you who were hanging with us yesterday. I knew you'd be watching.
All right, where is it cloudy and kind of chilly looking and just a little whiff of snow coming through? I'm going to go Ohio, Celeste.
Okay, I see a boat in the distance.
Oh, you do?
So there's a river. Is that a boat, or is that just a factory in the I don't know.
Oh,
Okay, so
I saw a factory, but it's like its own test. So
it really is. Okay,
All
you're
right.
going to go Ohio.
okay, and you're
I'm
going.
I'm going to go Iowa with a lot of our friends
Nice.
on the chat box.
All right,
Springfield, Missouri.
really?
Yeah, so we got a Michigan, but no Missouri.
I felt like Springfield was a bigger town than that one last look at the mystery camp. Well, maybe it's the burbs.
It could be.
Yeah.
And Ron, by the way,
Yeah.
Mario Hernandez says, "Hey, Ron, let's see. Tequila is the best remedy for your cough."
Thanks. I'm going to go home and tell Renee that. She's been giving me like herbal tea.
You're like, honey, what is this?
Come on.
Come on, get with the times.
All right, we have a treat for everybody here this morning because, hey, Brian, I'm going to have you tell me the source of our video. Stand by. I'm just cycling through all of our... Oh, no, it's VO9. You did tell me that. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Oh, wow, yeah.
We had a story in Arizona. It's hard to believe now. It's already been about a year where a large part of one of the most historic cities in our state was burned. And our Mark Martinez, who has been down there and, wanted to cover this story more in depth, a year later, where are we? And I can tell you right now where Mark is. He's on the road between here and Bisbee, Arizona. Hey, Mark, tell us what you're working on.
Hey, good morning, you guys. Yeah, we are on the road. We're about 20 minutes away from Bisbee right now. I am with frequent Fox 10 Talks contributor, BK, Brian K. And we are, so we're excited to head down there. I was talking to the mayor. He said that they've really come a long way in the past year. The main street was closed partially for about 6 months after that fire. These buildings are very old, so there had some bricks that fell down, and they had to make sure they were structurally sound before they could open up the streets. But he said they're back up and running. The business down there is really booming, especially right now. He said it's their busy season. So we're going to go down there and talk to them, talk to the local businesses, see how things are going. But I'm really excited. I've never been down to Bisbee, you guys, and I hear it's really amazing, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they have down there.
Well, you have that huge open pit
Yeah.
that's about a mile away from downtown. I mean, you look down at that, you think you're looking down into the Grand Canyon or something. It's huge. And it's actually way closer than people realize to the U.S.-Mexico border.
It really is. It's
about
almost
10 miles.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was looking at that on the map. I was really surprised. I don't know why I didn't have my geography better about this. Don't be mad at me, Ron. I know you're a geography. But we did not even know we were going to be driving through Tombstone on our way. We're on Highway 80.
Yeah.
And we had in our minds, we thought as we drove through Tombstone, we'd see like the OK Corral right there. We just
Sure.
thought we'd drive right past it.
Instead, you saw the Holiday Inn Express.
We did, and a couple Dollar Trees, but it's not, I really, for anyone from the Valley, I mean, again, we're not there yet. We're really close. But anyone from the Valley or, we're really not far away from this place. It's a quick drive. We got on the road about 7:30 this morning. We're going to be there about 10:45 or so, maybe a little bit less. And it's just a whole different world down here. It's really, really neat.
Yeah, it's kind of like a different vibe. They've got those Airstream trailers, right? Like a hotel set up. And It's kind of an artsy place.
And the Copper Queen
The
Hotel.
Copper Queen,
One of the
Yeah.
iconic places.
You know what else is interesting? While I was doing some research for this story, there's a woman named Jackie, and I'm going to forget her last name, but she owns a place down here called Patisserie Jackie. It's a little bakery thing.
Yeah.
She is a semifinalist for a James Beard Award this year from Bisbee. You know, this little shop, she said she opened 6 years ago, and she was blown away. She doesn't even know how it happened, but apparently so much word of mouth, and somebody must have been down here as a tourist who had connections and said, you got to check this place out. So she's a finalist, and we were going to try to get an interview with her. I'm hoping we can, but she said she's so slammed now because of all the publicity that there's lines out the door. So that's interesting.
Mark, I don't run the assignment desk, but I would like to suggest a couple of extra stories while you're down there.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Yes, please. One with Jackie.
Get us something with Jackie.
Go down to the border.
Correct. And then give us an update on what's happening at the OK Corral. I mean, I heard that some of those guys didn't make it.
We need to go back and do a whole story there. It's the only downside to this is we're turning and burning here today. We're going to get down here. We're going to try to get as many things as we can, and we got to hit the road about 3:30. But I'm thinking I'm going to come back here on my days off and check this place out when I don't have to head back to the valley, because everything I've seen so far or heard, it just sounds like it's going to be amazing. And the main thing, again, coming down here for the fire was our main reason for this. The mayor was saying, hey, we're doing well. In fact, business is booming, so we've really recovered from it, but we kind of want to see that up close and personal. Yeah,
and so Brian is with you, as you mentioned, Mark, so he is going to be getting some cool drone footage while you guys are down there?
Yes, that's right. He was already mentioning coming back here for some drone zones, so I think that will probably be in the future as well.
Hey, Mark, true or false when it comes to BK? He's made so many appearances here on Fox 10 Talks, he's going to be getting his own agent. True or false?
I think that is true. You know what else? I think he needs. You know how in Hollywood they have those directors' chairs with their names embroidered on the back.
Oh boy, here we go.
I think we need one that says BK, and just so when he's waiting in the wings to go on your show, he's comfortable.
I can hear him laughing in the background. That's priceless.
Hey, Mark, we got to run, but when can we see your work?
Okay, so we're going to plan on airing these next Friday, because that will be the 1-year anniversary, believe it or not. It was on Valentine's Day, so we're airing that next Friday. We're hoping to get down here and get as much as we can and meet some really great people. It sounds like we found the right place for that.
Are you on social? Are you putting any behind-the-scenes photos up or anything like that? Any handles you'd like to share with our stream viewers?
Unfortunately, my Instagram from work was hacked a while back. So
no.
I don't want to send anyone to that, because I don't know what they'll
I was wondering who posted that photo.
I haven't even tried to access that, but I think I will probably on my Twitter. It's Mark Fox 10.
Well, we love having you as a guest here on the streaming show, and thanks for checking in. Can't wait to see the story.
All right, you guys. If I can, I'll bring you back a pastry.
Oh yes, please. Ooh. Croissant, no chocolate necessary.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, Celeste can be a little demanding. Thank you, Mark. All right.
Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Drive safe, gentlemen. The ultimate professional, both of them.
Yeah.
So fun, fun. What a great road trip to take on a Friday.
Yeah, no kidding. There's another story, Celeste, that we should be talking about, which it has to do with people moving here to the Valley. Gen Z, we're the number 2 state in America for people to move into. And we have a little bit more on that coming up. But look at this old movie set. You know right where that is. That's down there just outside of Tucson, Old Tucson, as it's called. And The Three Amigos, one of the funniest movies of all time, was shot there, and many others. But I just love the fact that we now have the count for how many movies, TV commercials, documentaries, etc., were shot in Arizona last year. This blows my mind. 777 projects.
Wow.
Even some TV shows. Looks like to me just about everything but Fox 10 Talks has been doing some work down there in Old Tucson.
Yeah.
Or some of our other mini locations. I mean, when you have Old Tucson and Tombstone and Bisbee down south, and then you have Monument Valley on the far northern edge.
Well, and you have Sedona, and you have so many great places in our higher elevations, too. You got the river, Colorado River, Ron.
Well, I just think that sometimes we don't do a great job when it comes to updating people on a story. And
Yes.
so back in 2023, the state legislature passed a tax incentive to bring Hollywood to Arizona. There, by the way, there is a lawsuit underway from the Goldwater Institute, so we don't know long term if it'll survive or not. But, in terms of a 1-year snapshot, 777 TV shows, movies, documentaries, etc., right here in Arizona.
I'd like to know where that money, what pot that goes to in the
Uh-huh.
state budget.
Right.
Where does that money end up? Like maybe
Right.
we should redirect it to education or pay our teachers more or something like that.
Sure.
And that tax is really important.
Well, yeah. So when they're getting that tax break, I think it just comes right off their bottom line.
Oh, and that's
And they're
it.
like, you know what? Thank you, because now we don't have to go all the way to New Mexico.
Oh, I gotcha.
Because
Yeah.
Breaking Bad and a bunch of those shows are always
Mhm.
being shot over in New Mexico. Now,
Right.
now they can save on gas.
And they can
And
stay
they can
here
come right over.
to
right
the
over here.
valley.
Uh,
Ron, real quick in the
yeah,
chat box,
sure.
I asked, what's your favorite part of the Super Bowl? Someone said Taylor Swift cameos.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
a few people said the commercials.
Yeah.
And Jenswell says she loves the valley, like these, producers do as well.
Sure.
But it's been getting pretty hot here. It's a little hot in Arizona.
We don't disagree with that. But boy, has it been nice today.
Yes,
What are
it
we going to
has.
be? 76?
Oh,
Something
it's
like
going to be
that.
gorgeous.
It's going to be gorgeous. But Celeste, oh gosh, we're almost out of time. We'll do this story on another day because the list is out of America's top 10 all-time favorite movies.
Oh.
Will you put your own list together of your top 5 faves?
Oh, yes.
Okay, bring it in on
I
Monday.
can think of them right now.
Okay, well, don't reveal
Oh, too
just yet.
bad.
But hopefully the audience joins us on Monday. I'm going to put my
Yes.
list together too. But for now, believe it or not, we have to say our goodbyes. We just hope that you all enjoy watching the Super Bowl right here on Fox 10 coming up
All
on
right.
Sunday.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy that Super Bowl. See you next week.